What's up, everybody? Movie number 42. And I am excited, well, I was excited to watch this because it was a movie from the 80s that I somehow never stumbled across. Or maybe if I did, I didn't think much of it at the time. And I'll be honest, I watched the trailer for this and I'm like, oh, yeah, 80s goodness. I need that 80s nostalgic fix because it was very 80s with the practical effects. And then they computed, I don't even want to call it CGI, what they did with like the green floating stuff. Just because it's I don't know. I pre CGI, it was their term for that. But the lamp, which I was told by my boys, Stephen Barry and Eric Bindle, and I obviously see it now that I'm looking up on IMDb, but I didn't know this before. It also is called The Outing, which I guess either work. What did I like about this movie? Well, the thing that I loved about this movie that doesn't have much of influence on the score is they were locked in a museum, which in many ways is similar to the old locked in the mall trope, locked in the department store trope, which I enjoy. That's one of my favorites. Some movies like, Dawn of the Dead, obviously, Chopping Mall, Night of the Comet, Hide and Go Seek. Like, I love those types of movies. Like, that's fun to me. So this was a cool idea. The only problem is this them being locked in the museum is almost like a third separate jump. Like first they showed somebody trying to hide a lamp and then being attacked by it, which was strange. Then they showed people breaking into a house, and this one got me because there were three people who break into a house, old woman who she promised had a lot of money, promised there was a lot of money there for her, and like they could go steal it, and it sounded like, oh, we'll just break in, we'll be this, we'll be that, and somehow the just break in and we'll be this and we'll be that turned into we're gonna make all the noise we want and then we're gonna violently kill her. Okay? And the girl in it went from being, oh, we shouldn't be doing this to like dancing around listening to music with a dead body. Like I way too like 0 to 60 as far as the character shit for me. But it does become one of those things that makes you wonder. I did give myself, didn't do this in real time, I probably shouldn't. I made myself a couple of notes that I didn't want to forget. And I know one of them, because this movie had a kill scene that looked very like, it was a mummy came to life, but it looked so much like Dr. Tongue. I actually got to give credit for the effects there.
Dr. Tongue, don't breathe. Bootleg robot computer.
Yeah, no, I can't remember everything I was going to say other than the Dr. Tongue. You heard the computer. It was funny, the devices that they were using to analyze the lamp. Like, you don't really have the internet back then. So that was interesting. And I'm like, at first when they're taking pictures, I'm like, oh, they're just going to go to the web. I'm like, wait, they can't. So that was refreshing. So I like that of it. And again, some of the practical effects, some of them were great. Some of them were, terrible. And, like I said, especially when they added the CGI to try to enhance someone floating in the air. But also, the second where it shifted to like the third scene in the museum, like I guess even before that they had the girl and her friends driving in a car, and her ex boyfriend who she left was like ramming his car into us. I'm like, that's illegal. And then when he saw her in school, him and his friend pretty much violently he manhandled her and another girl. I'm like, no one does anything. Like I know it's the '80s and all that, and but that's illegal. What are you doing? No one's standing up, and the one guy who did, then there's a fight, and then did get caught eventually, and they were like, oh, you're kicked out of school for right now. So, of course, they're going to wind up at the museum, and they're going to try to mess with the people. And that messing at one point included a full-on rape attempt. And I shouldn't say attempt, it was happening, and then the creature from the lamp came and killed everybody. So, like, that was doubly whatever. So it's like, again, good kills in some of those regards. Like they brought snakes to life. The one girl got attacked by snakes. The other person got ripped in half. So I that was neat to me. And so a movie I never saw from the 80s, some cool effects. Not the CGI stuff was appreciated, but it jumped around so much with the story. Like where it was going, and then the characters' intensities Sometimes they're possessed, sometimes they're not possessed. You know, and then it's just, I don't know. It's just they destroyed the lamp. Allegedly, everything was okay, although pretty much all her friends were dead. And I don't mind spoiling a movie from '87, you know, because I'll tell you that if somebody spoiled this movie for me, I would still watch it to check out all my nostalgia elements I mentioned. I guess if I compare this to the movie I just reviewed in real time 5 minutes ago, in actual time, in your time, a day, and I gave that a 4 out of 10. If I compare it directly, which I hate doing that, I like this a little bit more because none of the acting was horrific, and I did like the old trope. So I'll give this. Can't give this a 5. A little too convoluted. That's my word, my magic word I use on movies that when I don't want to say meaner things about them. But yeah, I'll give it a 4 or 5 out of 10. And if you've never seen it and you're a fan of 80s stuff, it's worth watching because you know how many 80s stuff is out. How much 80s stuff is out there that we haven't had a chance to see. You know, so it's kind of like, well, it's there. I want to see something. They'll give you that. And I believe it was on Amazon or Tubi. Every day, all of the ones I watch on Amazon or Tubi. If I have to rent something, if I have to pay for something, I'll physically tell you. Although I guess technically I do have Amazon Prime, which is why I can watch stuff on there too. But anyway, folks, thanks for checking out my video number 42. Going to do number 43 right after this, and number 43 will come out on Tuesday, and it is the best of the bunch. So something to look forward to. Peace.